All right, so what are the key takeaways from this lesson? And I know it feels like there's a lot in this particular lesson, but I promise you the things that were presented, they're really your friends because they're going to make evaluating limits so much easier when we really tackle how to do it algebraically in topic 1.6. So the key takeaways are the algebraic properties of limits allow us to use direct substitution to evaluate limits of what we refer to as well-behaved functions. And this really does make our lives so much easier because now we can look at functions, and as long as we don't have an issue, for example, if it's not something that makes the zero in the denominator or something like that, we can actually just evaluate limits using direct substitution. If we want to know the limit as x approaches 2 of a polynomial function, for example, we can simply substitute 2 in because the limits are approaching whatever the function value is for these particular functions. And so direct substitution, this idea that this works can be used to find limits of trig functions in addition to polynomial functions and other well-behaved functions here. We can also apply this technique to trig functions as long as we're talking about values that are within their domain. Sine and cosine functions, you're free to use direct substitution. Things like tangent, where you do have some vertical asymptote behavior, you want to make sure that you're not going towards one of those. But as long as you're within the domain of a trig function, you're going to be able to use direct substitution to evaluate the limits of those functions as well.